This is Fox 9 News at 5.
The godfather of crime wave versus Bruce Wayne. Governor Tim Walz and Scott Jensen spent their final debate calling each other names and ratcheting up the attacks.
Political reporter Theo Keith was there, and Theo, these two came out swinging.
If you're looking for something that's maybe a reasoned forum on the issues, well, you didn't get it today. Boy, this was the last head-to-head meeting in front of a statewide audience, and it seemed at times like a speed-talking competition to lob as many attacks as possible.
In a mostly empty theater, Tim Walz and Scott Jensen turned up the heat.
Scott's vision is a dark and fearful vision of Minnesota.
His slogan was One Minnesota. That's a sham.
Both tried to talk over each other to get in their digs.
You have just heard the godfather of the crime epidemic speak, and I just got a word salad with no meat on it.
Scott is like Bruce Wayne. He just thinks he'd push a bat signal and he'll be able to do that. That's not how it works as governor.
Jensen accused Walz of failing, of quitting. Walz dismissed his challenger for offering no solutions.
Telling people they're going to get an income tax cut, but I'm going to put more police on the streets. Where are they going to come from?
The topic was Jensen's hope to get rid of the personal income tax, but the criticism, that just got personal.
I didn't talk to you, Scott, because you quit the legislature on this and not being there.
You quit the National Guard. I retired because my wife had to have some surgeries, but nice shot, Tim.
As the candidates clashed on COVID, Jensen said low student test scores were a result of Walz shutting down schools. Walz shot back about Jensen's opposition to masks and vaccine mandates. Afterward, neither man expressed any interest in Joe Biden or Donald Trump coming to campaign with them. Here's Jensen on Trump, who gave him a surprise endorsement.
I've never met him, and I've never spoke to him.
As for Walz on Biden,
Is the president going to be coming, or have you told him to stay away?
Neither. I don't have any idea.
On the Feeding Our Future case, Jensen said Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison missed opportunities in court to find and stop the fraud. On the income tax, Walz accused Jensen of laziness for wanting tax cuts without saying how he'd make up for lost revenue. 11 days to go.
Well, Theo, we've heard a lot about inflation, crime, and abortion. Any takeaways from this debate that may have been overlooked?
Well, we thought we were going to hear a lot about those topics today. The topic that we heard a lot about instead, COVID. That was the original sin for Tim Walz in Scott Jensen's mind. The thing that they clashed on first 2 years ago, that really has been an issue that has played out very much in the background, way down the list of issues important to voters. Inflation, crime, and the economy, much more so. We heard less about those issues today than we heard about COVID.
And real quick, are these kind of mudslinging, name-calling debates effective? I mean, do you hear from your experience, are voters like, yeah, well, he got him there, I'm going to vote for him?
Well, look, there are, most voters have made up their minds in this race. There are very few undecided voters, simply because Tim Walz's name recognition is very high because of what he did during the COVID pandemic. So we've got a few days left. The attacks today seem to play better with the Twitter crowd than with the few undecided voters that remain.